There is nothing important in this story. You don't need to listen carefully. Even if your mind wanders, it is perfectly fine. You are not required to remember anything. You can simply rest and let the words pass by. Pause. The place you are about to visit is not special. It has no famous name. No great event ever happened there. People did not travel far to reach it, and no one wrote songs about it. It existed quietly. Imagine a wide, open land where the ground is soft and uneven. The soil is pale brown, mixed with dry grass that bends easily under no weight at all. Nothing here rushes, nothing here waits for anything else. The sky above this land is always gentle, not bright, not dark, just a steady, muted color, like old parchment left in the sun for many years. Clouds move so slowly that you almost forget they are moving at all. There is a small path cutting through this land, not a road, just a place where feet have passed often enough to leave a faint memory in the earth. The path does not lead anywhere important. It simply exists because walking happened. Along this path, there is a village. The village is quiet, not because people are silent, but because nothing urgent happens here. The houses are low and simple, their walls are uneven, their roofs slightly slanted, as if they grew that way instead of being built. No house looks new, no house looks old enough to fall. Everything sits in the middle of time. A wooden door creaks open somewhere, not because someone is leaving, but because air moved it. A piece of cloth hangs near a window, barely shifting. Inside one of these houses, a man is sitting. He's not young, he's not old, he is simply a man who has lived enough days to stop counting them. He sits on a small wooden stool near the wall. His back is slightly curved, not from pain, but from habit. His hands rest on his knees. They are strong hands, but they are not doing anything right now. He is not thinking about tomorrow. He is not remembering yesterday. His thoughts drift without direction, like dust floating in sunlight. A small bowl sits on the table beside him. It is empty, and that is fine. It does not need to be filled at the moment. The room smells faintly of wood and dry earth. No fire is burning, no light flickers. Daylight enters softly through a narrow opening. Time moves slowly here. Outside, a woman walks along the path. Her steps are unhurried. She is not going somewhere important. She is simply moving because movement feels natural. She carries nothing. Her arms hang loosely at her sides. Her eyes are half open, half resting. The ground beneath her feet is familiar. Every stone, every slight dip in the path has been felt before, many times across many days, that no one remembers individually. A bird lands on a fence post nearby. It does not sing loudly. It makes a small sound, then settles. Nothing demands attention. Further down the path, a field stretches outward. The crops are low and still. No wind passes through them strongly enough to create sound. A man stands at the edge of the field, leaning on a wooden tool. He is not working right now. He is simply standing. His eyes follow nothing in particular. The sky, the ground, the space between. Breathing happens on its own. Somewhere nearby, a child sits on the ground, not playing, not sleeping, just sitting. The child traces a small line in the dirt with one finger, then stops. The line does not matter. It does not need to be finished. A cloud shifts slightly overhead. The light changes just enough to be noticed, but not enough to matter. Everything continues. As the day slowly leans forward, shadows stretch gently. No one measures them. No one comments on them. Inside another house, an older woman rests near the wall. Her eyes are closed, not asleep, just resting them. Her breathing is slow, steady, unconcerned. She has lived long enough to know that nothing needs to be done right now. The air remains still. A wooden bucket sits near a doorway. It has been there for a long time. It will remain there. Nothing interrupts the quiet. If your thoughts wander now, that is perfectly fine. You do not need to follow every word. You do not need to picture everything clearly. You can let the images soften. The village continues existing without attention. The path remains where it is. The houses remain standing. The people remain unhurried. Even the idea of time feels distant here. There is no schedule, no moment that must arrive. Breathing continues gently. The sky begins to lower itself toward evening, not dramatically, but gradually, so slowly that the change feels imagined. A faint coolness enters the air. It does not surprise anyone. Inside the houses, people shift positions. A man leans back against a wall. A woman rests her head on folded cloth. A child lies down without ceremony. No one announces sleep. It simply arrives. The village does not fall silent. It was already quiet. Darkness does not take over. It blends in. If you are listening, you can listen. If not, that is fine too. The words do not need you. The place remains, and slowly, very slowly, everything continues exactly as it is. The night in this place does not arrive suddenly. It does not fall. It does not announce itself. It simply becomes. The light fades so slowly that no one notices the exact moment when day ends and night begins. Colors soften, edges blur. The village looks almost the same, just quieter in its shape. The path through the land is still visible, though less clearly now. The ground remembers where it is, even when eyes do not. A single lamp glows faintly inside one of the houses. Not bright enough to light the room, just enough to exist. Inside, a man lies on a simple bed made of wood and cloth. The cloth is thin. The wood is firm. It has always been this way. He does not toss or turn. He does not think about sleep. He simply rests. His breathing is slow, not forced, not controlled. It happens on its own. Outside, the air cools gently, not cold, just cooler than before. The sky above the village holds a few faint stars. They are not sharp. They do not shine strongly. They seem tired too. Somewhere near the edge of the village, a dog lies curled near a doorway. Its eyes are closed. Its body rises and falls slightly with each breath. Nothing moves quickly. A tree stands near the path, its branches uneven and familiar. It does not sway much. There is barely any wind. Leaves rest where they are. Farther away, beyond the houses, the fields stretch into darkness. They are quiet now. They have finished being useful for the day. The soil holds warmth from the sun that was there earlier. It releases that warmth slowly, as if reluctant to let it go. In one house, a woman lies on her side. Her hair spreads loosely across the cloth beneath her head. Her hands rest lightly near her chest. She is not dreaming yet. Her mind is somewhere between waking and sleep, where thoughts lose their edges. She does not need to go anywhere. Nothing needs her attention. The village exists without asking anything from anyone. A faint sound passes through the air, perhaps an owl far away, or perhaps just imagination. No one reacts. Silence here is not empty. It is full of nothing happening. Time stretches. If your thoughts drift now, that is perfectly fine. You do not need to hold on to any image. You can let everything blur. Near the center of the village, a small fire has burned low. Only embers remain. They glow softly, then dim. No one watches them. The fire does not mind. Inside another house, an old man sits on the edge of his bed. He is not preparing for anything. He simply sits because he has always done so before lying down. His movements are slow, not because of pain, because there is no reason to hurry. He leans back. The bed creaks slightly under his weight, then settles. His eyes close. The room remains. Outside, the path holds the memory of footsteps from earlier. They are no longer there. Only the idea of them remains. The sky deepens into a darker shade, but still gentle. The stars do not compete for attention. Nothing here wants to be noticed. A faint breeze passes briefly through the village. It moves a piece of cloth. It touches the leaves of a tree. Then it is gone. No one remembers it. A child stirs in sleep, then becomes still again. The movement means nothing. Sleep is not a destination here. It is a state that arrives when it wants to. The houses stand quietly, each holding its own small, unimportant lives. Somewhere, water drips slowly from a wooden bucket. One drop, then another. The sound is barely there. Time does not count itself. If you are still listening, that is fine. If not, that is also fine. The story does not require attention. The night deepens further. Shadows blend together until they are no longer separate shapes. The village becomes softer, less defined. Inside the quiet, breathing continues. The land rests. Even the idea of morning feels distant. There is no rush toward it. Everything is allowed to remain unfinished. A field mouse moves briefly near the edge of a house, then disappears. It leaves no trace. The earth does not react. The stars hold their places without effort. The village remains exactly what it is. Nothing important happens. Nothing needs to. Slowly. Very slowly. The night holds everything in the same gentle stillness. In this place, the night continues without keeping track of itself. No one marks the hours. No bells ring. No voices count time. The darkness is even now spread gently across the land like a thin blanket that weighs nothing. The village remains where it has always been. Houses stand quietly, their shapes softened by shadow. Windows show no movement. Doors remain closed, not locked, just resting. A narrow road runs through the village, pale and barely visible. It does not lead anywhere important tonight. At the edge of this road, a wooden fence leans slightly. It has leaned like this for years. It sees no reason to change. Behind the fence, the ground is uneven. Small stones rest where they fell long ago. They are not disturbed. The air holds a steady calm, not silence exactly, just the absence of urgency. Somewhere, very far away, a bell may exist, but it does not ring here. It does not matter. Inside one of the houses, a man lies on his back, arms resting loosely at his sides. His face is relaxed, not smiling, not frowning. His breath moves in and out slowly without effort. The room contains only what is necessary: a bed, a small table, a piece of cloth folded neatly. Nothing asks to be noticed. The ceiling above him is low. Wooden beams cross it, darkened by time. They have always been there. He does not think about them. Outside, the night deepens, though no one could say how much time has passed. The sky holds its stars loosely, as if they might drift if they wanted to. They do not. A cloud passes slowly, covering one star, then another. No one watches. The fields beyond the village rest under darkness. They are no longer rows or lines, just a wide, quiet shape. Grass bends slightly under its own weight. The earth breathes in its own way. In another house, an older woman sleeps curled gently on her side. Her hands are folded together loosely, not holding anything. Her thoughts have already faded. Dreams have not arrived yet. That space before dreaming stretches comfortably. Nothing pulls at her attention. The night does not ask questions. Near the well, the bucket hangs motionless. The rope is still. Water inside reflects nothing. The well has no need to be used now. A small insect rests on the side of the stone. It does not move. It waits. Time does not push forward here. It spreads outward. If your mind wanders, that is expected. If it empties, that is even better. There is no message hidden in this place. Nothing to solve, nothing to remember, just continuation. The wind passes lightly through the village again. It touches a loose edge of cloth hanging from a doorway. The cloth moves once, then stops, that is all. Inside another home, a child lies stretched out, one arm above the head, one leg bent slightly. The child breathes deeply. A faint sound escapes with each exhale, then disappears. Sleep deepens without effort. The walls of the house hold warmth. They release it slowly, evenly. The night remains gentle. No one wakes. Somewhere near the path, a cat sits briefly, listening to nothing in particular. Its ears move once, then it curls up and closes its eyes. The moment passes without being marked. Shadows shift slightly as the moon moves behind thin clouds. The change is subtle. The village does not react. Inside the land itself, roots rest in darkness. They hold the soil together quietly. They do not grow right now. They wait. The sky does not brighten. Morning is not close. There is plenty of time. Breathing continues, slow, steady. If you notice your body becoming heavier, that is natural. If thoughts slow down, that is expected. Nothing here asks for effort. The houses stand in the same places. The road remains the same. The night wraps everything evenly. No sudden sounds, no sudden changes. Only the slow continuation of nothing happening. The stars remain where they are. The fields stay quiet. The village sleeps and the night continues. There is no need to follow anything here. Nothing important is happening. The night remains steady, calm, and unchanging. The village still exists, but it does not demand attention. It simply rests where it is. The ground feels cool and settled. Stones remain exactly where they were placed by time. No footsteps pass, no doors open. The road through the village looks the same as before, soft, pale, and empty. It does not lead anywhere tonight. A lantern hangs outside one house, unlit. It has not been used for hours. It does not mind. The air feels slightly heavier now, as if sleep itself has weight. It presses gently, evenly. Inside a quiet room, a person lies facing the wall. Their breathing is slow. Their body has already stopped adjusting. No thoughts remain sharp enough to matter. The wall beside them is plain. It does not tell stories. It does not reflect memories. It simply stands. Outside, the night continues without change. Clouds move slowly, barely noticeable. The moon stays hidden behind them. Nothing bright disturbs the darkness. In the fields, nothing stirs. The soil rests. The grass bends softly, then settles again. The wind does not hurry. Time feels wide here. Not long, not short, just wide enough to hold rest. In another house, someone sleeps on their back. Mouth slightly open, hands resting on the stomach. Each breath rises and falls gently. The rhythm does not change. The ceiling above them shows faint lines in the wood. Those lines have been there for many years. They are not new. They do not matter. A shelf holds a single object. No one looks at it. It is not important. The night is not interested in details. Near the edge of the village, a tree stands quietly. Its branches do not move. Leaves remain still, stacked over one another in shadow. The tree does not think about growing. It simply exists. Silence fills the spaces between everything, not empty silence, comfortable silence, the kind that allows sleep to deepen naturally. If your thoughts drift, let them drift. If they fade, let them fade. Nothing here needs to be remembered. The road remains empty, the houses remain still, the sky remains dark. Somewhere far away beyond the village, land stretches quietly. No borders, no markers, just space. Inside one home, a blanket rests unevenly over a sleeping form. It rises slightly with each breath, then falls. That movement is enough. No dreams yet, just rest. The body knows what to do without instruction. The night allows it. A faint sound might appear. Not a noise, just the suggestion of air moving. It passes without consequence. Nothing reacts. The village remains unchanged. The well stands quietly, its stone edges cool. The rope does not sway. Water remains undisturbed. Time does not push forward. It rests alongside everything else. If sleep has not fully arrived yet, that is fine. There is no hurry. The night is patient. Inside another room, a window is slightly open. No breeze enters. The darkness outside matches the darkness inside. There is no difference. The body grows heavier, muscles soften without effort. The mind loosens its grip. No instructions remain. The night holds everything evenly. Nothing unexpected will happen. Nothing needs attention. The village stays asleep. The sky does not change. Breathing continues, slow, deep, unnoticed. And the night continues on, exactly as it is. Nothing needs to be understood here. Nothing needs to be followed. This moment does not require attention. The night has already settled into its quiet shape. The village remains where it was, unchanged, unbothered. Houses sit calmly, as if they have always been asleep. Walls do not listen. Roofs do not react. Everything simply stays. The ground beneath the village feels solid and cool. It carries the weight of years without complaint. Stones do not remember footsteps. Paths do not expect travelers. The road is empty, and it is comfortable that way. A faint stillness spreads slowly like a blanket laid gently over everything. Inside one house, someone sleeps on their side, knees slightly bent. Their face is relaxed. No tension remains. Breathing flows in and out naturally. There is no effort involved. The room around them is plain. No decoration stands out. Nothing catches the eye. The darkness makes everything equal. A chair rests against the wall. It has not moved. The floor does not creak. Time passes without being noticed. Outside, the air feels thick and calm, not heavy, just steady. The night sky holds no urgency. Stars remain hidden. Clouds drift slowly without direction. Nothing changes suddenly. Near the edge of the village, a small structure stands alone. Its door is closed. It does not expect to open. The silence around it feels complete. Somewhere far away, land stretches into darkness. No lights, no motion, just space. The body listening to this continues to soften. Shoulders relax further, jaw loosens, breath deepens naturally. Thoughts lose their edges. They no longer form clearly. They fade before becoming anything. In another house, someone sleeps facing upward, arms resting beside them. Their chest rises gently. That rhythm is enough to hold the night together. The ceiling above them remains still. Shadows do not move. Nothing pulls attention. A shelf nearby holds a small object. It has been there for a long time. No one remembers why. It does not matter. The night does not care about meaning. The night only holds stillness. If the mind wanders, let it wander. There is nowhere it needs to go. If thoughts repeat, let them repeat until they dissolve. Nothing here reacts. The village remains deeply quiet. The road remains empty. The fields remain untouched. Grass bends slightly under its own weight, then rests. No animals pass through. No sound interrupts. A tree near one house stands tall and unmoving. Its branches hold still air. Leaves do not rustle. They are content. Time feels wide again, not fast, not slow, just wide, wide enough for rest to settle deeply. Inside one room, a blanket shifts slightly as someone exhales. Then it settles again. That small movement is the only motion. The body sinks deeper into the surface beneath it. Muscles no longer hold. There is nothing to prepare for, nothing to respond to. The night continues evenly. The air feels cool against the skin, but not cold. Comfort exists without effort. Somewhere a window remains slightly open. Darkness fills the frame. No breeze enters, no sound escapes. The inside and outside feel the same. Breathing remains steady. Each inhale arrives quietly. Each exhale leaves without sound. No pause feels uncomfortable. Everything feels allowed. The mind grows quieter without being forced. Thoughts slow, then soften. Eventually, they stop forming completely. Only rest remains. The village does not wake. The sky does not shift. Nothing signals morning. This moment stretches calmly. If sleep has already arrived, let it deepen. If it has not, that is fine. The night is patient. It does not rush anyone. It simply stays. And in this staying, rest becomes complete, and nothing needed to change. The night had already settled into its place, and it had no intention of moving. The village remained exactly as it was. Not paused, not frozen, just resting. The air felt steady, as if it had found the most comfortable way to exist. No breeze, strong enough to notice. No stillness, sharp enough to feel heavy. Just a gentle balance. Houses stood quietly, their shapes softened by darkness. Walls no longer held the warmth of the day. They had released it slowly without effort. Doors were closed, not because they needed to be, but because that was how they were meant to be right now. Inside, rooms were calm and dim. Corners blended into shadows. Nothing stood out. Beds held sleeping bodies with patience, not pulling, not pressing, just supporting. Breathing continued at its own pace, long, even breaths that didn't ask for attention. The space between each inhale and exhale stretched naturally, like time itself had learned how to relax. Somewhere, a wooden chair rested against a wall. It had not moved all day. It would not move tonight. It was perfectly fine with that. The floor beneath it was cool and solid, unconcerned with footsteps that were not coming. Outside, the paths between homes were empty. No sound followed them. No light crossed them. The night had smoothed everything into simplicity. Even thoughts, if they appeared at all, felt distant and slow. They arrived without urgency and faded before needing an answer. Nothing required remembering. Nothing asked to be solved. The sky above the village was wide and quiet, not bright, not dark, just open. Stars, if there were any, did not demand to be seen. They existed without effort. Time no longer behaved like time. It did not move forward or backward. It simply rested alongside everything else. Moments stretched gently, like they were allowed to take up as much space as they wanted. Somewhere inside a small house, a person slept deeply. Their body had settled completely. Shoulders loose, hands relaxed, jaw unclenched. Their face held no expression at all. Dreams had softened into something vague and unimportant. Nothing sharp enough to hold on to. The room around them was silent, but not empty. It was full of stillness. Even the walls seemed to understand that this was not a time for echoes. Breathing continued, steady and unremarkable. Each breath blended into the next, like waves that no longer needed a shore. Outside, a tree stood unmoving. Its branches did not sway. Its leaves did not rustle. It did not resist the night. It simply shared it. The ground beneath the tree was firm and patient, holding everything without complaint. Nothing leaned too far, nothing fell. The entire village felt supported, as if resting on something much larger and calmer. If awareness drifted, it did so gently. If attention faded, nothing chased it. There was no edge to this moment, no beginning, no ending, just a long, quiet middle. Somewhere far away, a sound could have existed. But here, it chose not to. Silence was not forced. It was natural. The kind of silence that doesn't feel empty, only complete. The night continued to hold everything exactly where it was, and there was no reason to move. The stillness remains exactly as it was. Nothing new begins. Nothing ends. The calm simply keeps going. You are already resting inside this slow, gentle space where time has softened and the edges of thought have blurred. There is no need to move forward or backward. You are already where you need to be. Breathing happens on its own now, in and out. Not something you do, just something that happens. The quiet around you feels deep, wide, and endlessly patient. It does not ask anything from you. It does not expect attention. It simply exists like a calm presence that has always been here, waiting without waiting. Thoughts drift more slowly now. They no longer arrive sharply. They come like distant clouds, already fading as they appear. You may notice long spaces between thoughts, gentle gaps where nothing needs to be filled. Those spaces are safe, restful, comfortable. You are allowed to stay there as long as you like. There is a sense of being held by the stillness itself, not physically, just supported. Your body feels heavier in a pleasant way, as if gravity has become kind. Muscles loosen without effort, shoulders rest lower, the jaw softens, the forehead smooths itself out. No instructions are needed, no focus is required. Your body already knows how to rest. The world around you feels distant, muted, unimportant. Sounds fade into softness. Sensations lose their sharpness. Everything becomes rounded, gentle, and slow. Time does not matter here. Minutes and hours have stopped counting themselves. You may feel as if you are floating gently, not moving, not falling, simply existing in a calm, quiet balance. There is no direction, no destination, just this. Breathing continues, slow, shallow, peaceful. Each breath blends into the next so smoothly that it's hard to tell where one ends and another begins. Your mind does not need to understand anything. It does not need images or stories. It can rest in simplicity. If a thought appears, it drifts away on its own like a leaf touching water and slowly disappearing downstream. You don't follow it. You don't stop it. You simply let it go. Silence grows deeper, not empty, but full in a quiet way, full of rest, full of ease. Your awareness becomes softer, wider, less focused. It spreads out gently, like a dim light filling a large, quiet room. Nothing inside that room needs attention. Your body sinks further into comfort. The weight of your legs settles. Your arms feel loose and distant. Your hands rest without tension. Even your breathing feels far away now, something happening somewhere else gently and reliably. The calm does not change. It does not progress. It simply stays. There is no reason to stay alert, no reason to listen closely, no reason to remember any of this. You are allowed to forget the sound of this voice whenever your mind chooses. You are allowed to drift deeper without permission. Thoughts thin out even more. The space between them stretches. That space is where rest lives. Your mind may begin to feel pleasantly empty. Not blank, just quiet. Like a sky after clouds have slowly moved away. If sleep arrives now, it arrives naturally. If it waits a little longer, that is fine too. There is no wrong pace here. The calm remains constant, like a soft background that never fades. You are resting inside it, without effort, without awareness. Your body continues letting go in layers. First the surface, then deeper still. Every part of you knows how to do this. You have done it countless times before. Breathing becomes lighter, slower, almost unnoticeable. Your thoughts no longer form full sentences. They become fragments, sensations, soft impressions that dissolve before they finish. Nothing pulls you back. Nothing calls for attention. The world outside this moment feels unreal now, distant and unimportant. There is only this quiet, gentle state of being. Your awareness begins to drift, like sinking into warm water. Not suddenly, not completely, just gradually, comfortably. There is no edge to cross, no moment to notice. Sleep approaches without announcement. The calm continues to hold you exactly as it has been, unchanging, uninterrupted. Your mind releases its last bits of effort. Your body rests fully in its own weight. If you are still listening, that's okay. If you are already asleep, that's perfect. Nothing here needs you to stay awake. The quiet deepens. Not darker, not heavier, just more complete. Breathing flows. Stillness stays. Rest remains. And everything continues. Softly, gently, without end. The quiet continues without effort. Nothing shifts. Nothing asks for attention. You remain gently suspended in this calm, where awareness is soft and unfocused, like a distant echo that barely remembers its source. The stillness has grown familiar now. Not something new, not something to notice. Just the natural state of being. Breathing happens quietly, almost invisibly. In, out. So subtle it feels like it belongs to the space around you rather than to your body. Your body rests completely on its own. There is no tension left to release, no adjustment needed. Everything has already settled into its most comfortable position. Time feels wide and loose here. Moments stretch without length. There is no before, there is no after. Just this continuous, gentle now. Your mind no longer tries to follow words. Sounds soften into texture, into background warmth, into something unimportant. Meaning dissolves, language becomes unnecessary. If thoughts appear at all, they are slow and unfinished, fragments without direction. They fade before they can become anything solid. There is a pleasant heaviness through your body, as if you are resting beneath a soft, invisible blanket of calm. Gravity feels steady and supportive, never pulling, never demanding. The stillness does not deepen suddenly. It deepens quietly, almost imperceptibly, like sinking a little further into a very comfortable surface. Not enough to notice, but enough to feel safe. Your awareness drifts wider, then softer, then thinner. It spreads out and dissolves into the quiet, losing its edges. There is no center anymore, no focus point, no need to stay aware. Everything you normally hold on to loosens naturally. Attention fades, control fades, effort disappears. The calm holds its shape effortlessly. Breathing remains slow and gentle, flowing in a rhythm that feels ancient and automatic. Each breath blends into the next, forming a continuous wave with no clear beginning or end. Your body feels distant now. not gone, just far away. Sensations are muted, rounded, unimportant. The weight of your limbs no longer registers clearly. Your hands rest without feeling like hands. Your feet rest without feeling like feet. Even the sense of you softens, becoming vague and quiet. There's nothing to solve, nothing to remember, nothing to prepare for. The world beyond this moment fades further like a dream already half forgotten. Silence thickens. Not heavy, not pressing, but full and stable, like a deep, calm ocean with no surface movement. If sleep hasn't fully taken you yet, it is very close now. It does not rush. It does not announce itself. It simply arrives when awareness becomes light enough to drift away. Your mind releases the last traces of structure. Thoughts lose sequence. Images blur before forming. You may feel as if you are floating or sinking or neither. Direction no longer matters. There is only rest. The quiet continues uninterrupted. Breathing becomes even softer, shallow, slow, barely noticeable. Each breath feels like a gentle reminder that everything is safe and steady. Nothing changes, and that is exactly what allows rest to deepen. Your awareness thins further, like mist dispersing into open air. There is less and less of it now, just enough to feel calm, not enough to stay awake. Sleep wraps itself around you gradually, layer by layer, without edges. There is no moment to cross, no switch to flip, just a smooth fading. The stillness remains constant, like a background that never stops. You are resting inside it, whether you are aware of it or not. Your body is completely at ease. Your mind is completely unburdened. Even the sound of this voice becomes part of the quiet. Not something separate, just another soft element blending into the background. If awareness flickers briefly, it flickers gently and fades again. Nothing pulls you back. The calm does not ask you to listen. It does not ask you to follow. It allows you to disappear into rest. Breathing flows, silence stays. Your mind drifts into deeper, slower rhythms, the kind that do not form words or thoughts, just soft impressions that dissolve instantly. There is no effort anywhere now, no holding, no resisting. Everything that could let go has already let go. Sleep is no longer approaching, it is already here. If you are asleep, this continues quietly without you. If you are hovering on the edge, that edge softens and fades. The quiet deepens again, subtly, steadily, like sinking a little further into comfort without noticing the movement. Your awareness fades almost completely now. No images, no thoughts, no sense of time. Only rest remains, and the calm continues, unchanged, unbroken, holding you gently as sleep stays deep and steady. If you are still listening, that is perfectly okay. And if you are already half asleep, that is even better. There is nothing you need to do right now, no task to complete, no thought to finish. Just allow the sound of these words to exist in the background, like a gentle current carrying you forward without effort. In Part 8, your mind learned how to soften, how to release the need to understand, how to rest inside calm without searching for meaning. Now in this part, we go even deeper to a place where thoughts lose their shape, where time stretches and becomes unimportant, where awareness itself begins to drift. You do not have to imagine anything clearly. Vague impressions are more than enough. Even if nothing appears at all, that is absolutely fine. Let the mind become spacious. Imagine your mind as a wide, open space, not empty in a lonely way, but open in a peaceful way, like a quiet field at night, or an endless sky without clouds. Thoughts may still appear, but now they are distant, small, and unimportant. They float through without pulling you in. If a thought comes, you do not follow it. You do not push it away. You simply let it pass like a leaf drifting across still water. And as each thought fades, the space between thoughts grows longer. Those spaces, that silence, is where rest begins. The body sleeps before the mind. Your body already knows how to sleep. It has done this thousands of times before without instruction, without effort. Right now, your body may feel heavy, or light, or distant. Perhaps you are no longer aware of where your hands are, or where your feet are. That is a good sign. Muscles are no longer holding tension. The nervous system is slowing its rhythm. Breathing has become quiet and automatic. Your body is entering sleep on its own timeline. The mind does not need to follow perfectly. It only needs to stop interfering. Breath that happens by itself. Notice how breathing is happening without you doing anything. Air enters, air leaves. There is no effort in it now. Each breath feels slower than the last, not because you control it, but because your body is safe enough to slow down. The pauses between breaths gently stretch. Those pauses are calm. They are peaceful. They are rest. If at any point you forget to listen and drift away, that is exactly what is meant to happen. Drifting without direction. You are not going anywhere specific. There is no destination, no story to follow, no scene to build, just drifting, floating, softly moving forward, like being carried on warm water, or gently rocked by slow waves. There is no up or down here, no past or future, only this gentle motion, and with every moment, thinking becomes less necessary. When words lose meaning. You may begin to notice that words do not register the way they did before. They pass through without forming clear ideas. This is the doorway to deeper sleep. You do not need to understand sentences anymore. You do not need to remember anything. The sound of the voice is enough. It becomes a background hum, a distant presence, safe and neutral. Your mind can let go completely. The quiet space behind awareness. There is a place beneath thought, a place that exists before language. You have visited it many times, right before falling asleep, right after waking up. That space is here now. In that space, there are no worries, no plans, no identity, just quiet existence. You do not have to stay aware of it. Even noticing it once is enough. After that, sleep takes over naturally. Gentle separation from the day. The day you live today is slowly dissolving. Moments lose their edges, memories soften, anything unfinished can wait. Nothing from the waking world needs your attention right now. Your mind understands this. That is why it is letting go. A slow descent into rest. Imagine descending gently, not falling, but slowly sinking. Each layer you pass is quieter than the last. Sounds fade, thoughts thin out, awareness narrows, until there is only rest, no effort, no control, just sleep unfolding naturally. If you are still aware, if some part of you is still listening, that is okay. There is no rush. Sleep is not something you force, it is something you allow. Even rest without sleep is deeply healing. Your body is already benefiting, your nervous system is already resetting, and eventually sleep will arrive quietly, without announcement. Long pauses, soft silence. Now the words may come slower, the spaces between them grow longer. Those spaces are intentional. They give your mind permission to drift away. You do not need to fill them, just rest inside them. Nothing more to do. There is truly nothing left to do, no technique to follow, no instruction to remember, just let go. If sleep comes now, let it come. If it comes later, that is fine too. Your body knows the way. fading gently. The voice may begin to feel distant, like hearing someone speak from another room. You do not need to listen closely anymore. Let the sound blur. Let awareness soften. Sleep is already close, very close. Drifting fully into sleep. At some point, there will be no more words, no more listening, only deep, natural sleep. And when that happens, everything continues perfectly without you. Rest now. Let go. Sleep. The night continues exactly where it left you. Not in a dramatic way, not with movement or sound, just continuing. As if the world itself decided not to change anything at all. The place you are resting in still feels wide and quiet. The air remains soft, unmoving, neither warm nor cold. Time does not feel like it is passing anymore. It feels like it has stretched out, thinned, and settled around you like a blanket. Your body is still. Your breathing remains slow and natural. There is no reason to adjust, no reason to think ahead. Nothing new is required of you. In part 9, the world gently loosened its grip. Thoughts became less solid, sensations softened. Now, in this moment, something even quieter begins. Not sleep yet, not dreaming, just drifting. Imagine, without effort, that you are lying somewhere safe and endless. It could be a field under a night sky. It could be a wide, empty hall made of soft stone. It could be nothing at all. Whatever appears is fine. Whatever doesn't appear is also fine. Your mind no longer needs to create scenes. It can simply rest open. Each breath in feels slightly shorter. Each breath out feels slightly longer. With every exhale, your body sinks a little deeper into whatever supports it. As if gravity itself has slowed down, your shoulders release further. Your jaw loosens without instruction. Even the tiny muscles around your eyes stop holding. You are not trying to relax. Relaxation is happening on its own. Somewhere far away, so far it barely exists, you may sense the idea of a horizon. Not something you need to look at. Just a suggestion of distance. That distance feels peaceful. There is no urgency beyond it, no sound calling from it. It simply exists. And that is enough. Your thoughts now move differently. They do not form sentences. They do not demand attention. They appear more like faint ripples on still water, soft, incomplete, fading before they finish. If a thought comes, it is allowed. If it leaves, it is not followed. Nothing is held. Nothing is pushed away. Your awareness becomes wide and thin like mist spread over a quiet valley. The sense of you begins to feel less defined. Not gone, just less important. Your name, your day, your plans, they feel distant, unconnected, irrelevant for now. This moment does not need a story. It only needs stillness. Your breathing continues, slow, effortless. The space between breaths grows comfortable. Those pauses feel safe, as if the world itself pauses with you. Now imagine that even your awareness begins to soften. Not disappear, just soften. Like dimming a light instead of turning it off. You do not need to see clearly anymore. You do not need to listen carefully. You are allowed to blur. Somewhere in the background of this quiet, there is a sense of deep balance, as if everything is exactly where it should be. No corrections needed, no movement required. Your body knows how to sleep. It has done this many times before. You do not need to help it. You simply allow it. The mind continues to drift lower like a feather sinking through still air. There is no bottom to reach, no destination, just drifting. If images appear now, they are slow and colorless, shadows of ideas, fragments with no meaning. They do not matter. What matters is the feeling beneath them, the feeling of being held by nothing and everything at once. Your heartbeat feels distant, not loud, not demanding, just steady. Each beat a reminder that things are continuing without effort. Your breath flows in and out, longer out than in. Your entire body feels heavier yet lighter at the same time. Heavy enough to stay still, light enough to float. This is the edge, the gentle edge between awareness and sleep. You do not need to cross it deliberately, it will come to you. The mind now releases the last small need to stay alert. There is no danger here, no responsibility, just rest. The space around you feels even wider now, as if walls, if they ever existed, have dissolved. Only openness remains. Silence feels full rather than empty. You may notice that your thoughts have almost completely stopped forming. Not because you stopped them, but because they no longer have anywhere to land. They fade before becoming real. This is natural. This is safe. Sleep begins quietly without announcement, not like falling, but like sinking into warm darkness. Your awareness narrows gently, like closing curtains in a dark room, not shut, just mostly closed. The world continues without you needing to watch it. Breathing remains slow, body remains still. And now, even the idea of listening becomes unnecessary. You are allowed to drift deeper, further down into that soft, quiet place where nothing asks anything of you, where time has no meaning, where thought has no weight, just rest, just sleep. And if you are already asleep, this story will simply dissolve into the background, like sound fading into silence. There's nothing more you need to do, nothing at all. Now, take a slow, gentle breath in and let it go. Another breath, easy, unforced. You are here, and that is enough, the quiet. Between thoughts, as the story continues, everything becomes even slower, softer, as if the world itself has learned how to whisper. You may notice that your thoughts are not gone. They simply arrive more quietly now and leave without effort. There is a space between each thought, a gentle pause, a calm gap, and in that gap, there is deep rest. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a vast, open field at night. The ground is smooth, cool, perfectly still. Above you, the sky is wide and endless, not filled with stars, but with a soft, dim glow, like moonlight filtered through calm clouds. Nothing moves quickly here. Even time seems to slow down, stretching, loosening its grip. With every breath you take, your body feels heavier, yet safer. Your shoulders soften, your jaw relaxes, your forehead smooths out completely. There is no tension left to hold. Drifting deeper, you begin walking slowly across the field. Each step feels effortless, as if the ground supports you completely. There is no sound of footsteps, only silence and comfort. As you move forward, you realize something important. You are not trying to reach anywhere. There is no destination, no goal, no finish line. You are simply moving because it feels peaceful. And with that realization, your breathing becomes even slower. Inhale, pause, exhale. Your body knows how to sleep. You do not need to guide it. It has done this thousands of times before. The soft current of rest ahead of you, the field gently slopes downward, leading to a calm, invisible current. Not water, but rest itself. As you step into it, you don't sink. Instead, you feel supported, as if something unseen is holding you perfectly. This current does not pull you forward. It simply keeps you suspended in deep comfort. Here, thoughts lose their sharp edges, memories blur gently at the corners, worries dissolve before they fully form. Your mind begins to float like a feather drifting downward, slow, 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 letting go without effort. You might notice your arms feel warm and heavy, your legs relaxed, loose, still. Your breathing now happens on its own. You don't even need to notice it anymore. If a thought appears, you don't chase it away. You let it pass, like a cloud drifting across the sky, leaving no trace behind. The silence grows deeper, but never empty. It is full of rest, the gentle descent. Without realizing when it begins, you start drifting downward, not falling, but gently lowering, like sinking into the most comfortable bed you've ever known. Your awareness becomes softer, edges blur, time stretches. You no longer need to understand the words, you don't need to follow the story. Your mind can sleep even while the sound continues, and that is perfectly okay. Safe and still, somewhere deep inside your body recognizes this feeling, safe, still, complete. Your heartbeat is calm, your muscles are fully relaxed, your thoughts are quiet whispers, fading away. You are resting in the quiet between thoughts, a place where sleep begins naturally. Nothing pulls you back, nothing demands attention, only calm, only rest, only deep, gentle sleep. Drifting into sleep. From here, you don't need guidance anymore. Your mind may begin to dream softly or fade into complete darkness. Both are signs of deep rest. The words will continue gently, but you don't have to listen. Sleep is already taking over, slowly, kindly, completely. And as this part comes to a close, your body and mind remain wrapped in calm, quiet sleep. Now, there's nothing left to prepare. You are already where you need to be. Take one slow, easy breath in and let it fall away. Another breath, lighter than before, as if your body is breathing itself. The end of effort. This final part does not ask you to imagine. It does not ask you to follow. It does not ask you to remember anything, because sleep has already begun. Your body is resting deeply now. Your mind is no longer holding shape or direction. Thoughts come only as faint echoes, and even those are fading. There is no doing anymore, only being, and even that is softening. If you notice the sound of these words, they feel distant, unimportant, safe. They are simply here to keep the silence gentle. Where awareness grows, dim imagine, if you still imagine at all, a vast quiet space with no edges, not dark, not bright, just dim, neutral, comfortable. There is no floor beneath you and no sky above you. Yet you feel completely supported. Nothing presses against you, nothing pulls at you. Your body has forgotten its weight. Your mind has forgotten its questions. This is the place where awareness slows down until it becomes rest. The softening of the mind. Thoughts no longer form sentences. They no longer complete themselves. They appear only as fragments, sensations, fading impressions. Your mind is doing what it was always meant to do at night, letting go. There is no need to stay alert, no need to listen carefully. Even the idea of sleep is beginning to dissolve, because you are already inside it, the gentle pull of nothing. There is a quiet pull now, not downward, not forward, a pull inward, like sinking into warmth, like melting into stillness. Your breathing is slow, unnoticed, automatic. Your heartbeat steady, far away, irrelevant. Every muscle has released its last bit of effort. Even your face is completely relaxed, eyes heavy, jaw loose, tongue resting softly. There is nothing left to hold. The last door, closes gently. If there was ever a moment when the outside world mattered, it has passed. Sounds fade, time stretches thin. Awareness dims like a light turned very low. You do not cross into sleep. You sink into it, slowly, kindly, without resistance. There is no sudden change, no signal, only a gentle disappearance of wakefulness. Words, becoming background. From here on, the words no longer guide you. They are simply a soft background hum, like wind far away, like distant waves, like nothing in particular. You do not need to understand them. You do not need to remember them. Your mind may already be dreaming or resting in deep, dark quiet. Both are perfect. Complete safety. Somewhere deep in your nervous system there is a recognition. You are safe. You are still. You are done for today. Nothing more is required of you. The day has released you. The world can wait. Sleep is now doing its work. Repairing, restoring, resetting. Letting the voice fade. The voice becomes slower, quieter, less important. Pauses stretch longer between words. Silence grows thicker, softer, heavier. You are no longer listening, you are resting. The final drift. If there are images, they are faint. If there are thoughts, they are incomplete. If there is awareness, it is floating, unattached, free. Sleep deepens naturally, without instruction. You sink further into the quiet, into the dark comfort, into the place where nothing is asked of you. No ending, only rest. This is not an ending you need to hear. This is an ending your body understands. There is no final moment, no final sentence. Only rest, continuing on its own. The silence now does the work, and you remain asleep, calm, safe, undisturbed.